What's going on, people? Will Cadena, Westcott Top Pro, and today I'm going to show you how to create amazing lighting on location using portable flash. So I wanted to photograph Kaylee at this location, but I wanted some kind of separation. We ended up using an FJ80 version 2 and also an SE. So we had to soften up the light. One of my go-to modifiers is the Deep Umbrella 43-inch silver. So that's my go-to. No matter where I travel to, I always have one of those in my backpack. All right, so the reason why I love using the silver, because it gives you a little bit more punchier, it's a little bit more specular highlight. You personally don't want to use it on an older person because you'll see more of the, I guess, the pores, say in a nice way. If you want to photograph someone in that way, I recommend using a Deep Umbrella with a diffuser on it. So for this scene, I wanted to show you guys the difference between the silver and the white. The reason why I use the silver, it gives you a little bit more of a punchier feel to the image, a little bit more specular highlight. Now the white version will give you a little bit more of a softer feel to the image. So if you want to use the white Deep Umbrella, it's really your choice. So we wanted a little bit more separation from the background for her. So what we did was we added a rim light, which it was just only hard light. It was another FJ80 version 2. It was about this height. And again, depending how you want it, for me, I had it about just as is for separation, and that was it. Now the question is, why did I use a 43-inch silver umbrella? One, it's compact, great to travel with. Three, I love a little contrast, a little, specular highlight into my images. And especially who I'm photographing, depending on the makeup, it looks really, really nice and polished. So the second setup, what we did was we just went a couple of feet. We had her get right on the stairs. I wanted her to kind of lean towards the banister or the rail. So we ended up using 2 flashes for this. The only difference is we ended up changing the silver interior to a white. And then we ended up using the same FJ80 SE. And the only difference that we did was we put a diffuser on there just to cover up half of it. The reason why I have the diffuser in that way, because I just wanted more of the light to hit our face instead of hitting the rail. It just lowers the intensity of the light in that area alone. So one of my favorite things is when I travel is having this little bad boy. It's called the M6. And this, combining with my FJ80 version 2, it has this little thing right there. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. Yeah, right there. And all you have to do is and you can put it on a tripod really easily with no problem. It could be a mounting tripod. It could be one of those Jobies. And the reason why I use this system, instead of bringing sandbags and a stand up there and God forbid something happens, this just avoids from any kind of accidents. All I did was a basic hair light from the back. The flash was actually zoomed in all the way completely. And that was the shot. And once I got the shots that I wanted, I was like, you know what, let me step it up just a little bit more because I felt that, it was a little bit too contrasty in the bottom. So I ended up bringing another flash, which was a FJ80 version 2. And all I did was I bounced it right to the wall. That's all I did. I didn't want to bring it too close to the wall because if I would have brought it too close to the wall, it would have been a smaller light source. So what I did was I brought the light a little further back, so when the light hit the wall, it dispersed more and it filled in more of the area. And yes, bouncing off the wall did create a different kind of color shift, but it was fun. It was kind of like adding like a gel to the location. And the only reason why we had that set up in that way, because I didn't want to put a stand on there. There wasn't enough room to have anything stable in any way. So we ended up using the same system, the M6 on a tripod. So after we got our safety shots, we wanted to spice it up a little bit more. So we took out the FJ80 Creative Pack. So these are the barn doors. It's really, really, really cool. Check this out. All you have to do is pop it in to any of your FJ80 and you're set to go. Check that out. Wow. All right, so the cool thing about this, even if you bump it, it's not coming off, which is really freaking cool. So that's a game changer for me personally because I'm really rough with my equipment. All right, so how I ended up getting the shot that I wanted was, all I did was incorporate this into it and I closed it up just a hair. So I had the subject within this distance. I was photographing from that angle. The flash was here. So once I got my key light dialed in, everything else, that's when I incorporated the backlights, so the rim lighting, to kind of create a little bit more of the shadow from the back. After everything was dialed in, all we did was incorporated a 40-inch white reflector. Why, the question is, I wanted to bring in a little bit more of a fill on the jackets and also light up the eyes just a hair because we were getting a little too contrasting, a little too much shadows in the bottom. When I was walking by, the sun came out. So I figured let's put Kaylee involved with this whole scene. So originally when I saw it, I'm like, I could have just put it here, pick up the chin, added a flash in as a fill. And I was like, you know what? She's gonna melt. So if she has makeup and hair done, that's gonna completely disappear. We don't want that. So I brought her forward so you see the difference. The problem is that I'm in shadow. That's highlight. So we need to fill in it in. So what we did, instead of using the FJ80 or the SE, which it gives us about anywhere between, what, 75 to maybe 80 watts, I needed something with more power. Yes, I could have just shot with hard light, but I decided to use a deep umbrella. This is the 43 inch. We used this almost about, I think it was about 1/8 of a power or so. Once we brought Kaylee over here, it was great. So we ended up filling the light in. We needed some kind of separation. Even though this is separation as it was, I needed some kind of fill from the back. So we added another flash, which is the FJ80 version 2. So we incorporated a reflector into the shot. So we incorporated it as a fill, and you'll see the before and after so you can see what you liked. Again, it's very subjective. Maybe you might not like it, maybe you do like it, but at the end of the day, we're creatives and we just want to have fun, right? So once I got the shot, I wanted to play a little bit more. I told Kaylee, do me a favor, just take a step forward. So she took a step forward and I told her to turn her body towards the umbrella. And what I asked her to do, also turn her head towards the bathroom. Guys, there's a real bathroom right there. It doesn't matter where you shoot, you gotta get creative. So now we have the split lighting coming in and we incorporated the reflector into it. Another key thing, bring it in closer, Jacob. We gotta bring it in closer. When they turn the head, you wanna make sure the eyes, right? As you can see, it's all white right over here. You wanna give direction where you want the eyes to look. So I told Kaylee, do me a favor, turn your head towards the bathroom. Now you get to see where the pupils are. So keep that in mind. So if you want them to look alive, make sure they're facing towards a certain direction. If you wanna make them look dead, turn the eye pupils away. Make sense? Got it? Good? All right, cool. Woo! I am sweating right now. Hopefully, wherever you're watching, you're nice and cool right now. So anyway, we have to work with time. We're in Ohio right now. It seems like it's like cloud heaven for everyone. I was hoping to get more sunlight, but we only had maybe a minute or two to get the shot. After we brought her over, we just ended up focusing on two things. One, the main light source was the sun. So I exposed for the sun, but also I wanted to make sure wherever I put her, the composition worked. So I ended up photographing her vertically. But I ended up putting her in the gap, which we'll show you in a second. We ended up putting an FJ200 in the back as a rim light. It's hard light, so I ended up using two light sources, the sun and that. Then we ended up incorporating a reflector, which was 40-inch reflector, and that was a little bit of a kicker, but it didn't work too well. So we ended up putting an FJ80 version 2 right on here. This actually comes with the kit, which is cool. I placed it right on there. That light bounced off the reflector and gave it a little bit of a fill, just a kicker. So it's not too underexposed or not too shadowy. For me, it's really important to get a little bit kicker into it because I do a lot of my stuff I print. So we don't want to lose those blacks. And also we don't want to lose any of the highlights. So this is why I like to balance things out as much as I can. We had to change up the location real quick because, Jacob, turn around. Show them it's about to rain. It's about to get crazy. So let's scoop it around this way real quick. So we had to get something really quick to show you guys. So we incorporated the FJ200, all right, which this is where the subject was. We ended up putting a white interior, 43-inch deep umbrella. We ended up using an FJ80 version 2. Let's lower this bad boy down. The cool thing about the creative pack is, look, we have a color gel in there, which it was a teal. So when you take it apart, what? You can put the reflector in there, which is really cool. So it gives you more output, which is really cool. Same thing here. This is the gel. As you can see, let's point it towards the sky. And that is it. 2 light system, nothing crazy. And we gotta go because it's about to rain. Bye guys. So you guys saw it got crazy out there. This is why I'm wearing a hat and I took off my glasses, because a hurricane came out of nowhere and we had to pack up real quick. So let me just elaborate what we did on location. So we had a 43-inch white interior deep umbrella using a FJ200. Then we ended up using a rim lighting behind the subject. And we ended up using an FJ80 version 2 with the Creative Pack and with a teal gel on there. So the cool thing about the twist lock is that you could use the FJ200 reflector onto the FJ80 version 2 or 80 SE, which is really, really freaking cool with that. So make sure to check that out. Yes, and you could also put the gels in there if you want as well, but I thought that was a cool little feature. So one of the cool things about the FJ wireless system is they all communicate, they all talk to each other. The FJ80 version 2, we got the 80 SE, we have the FJ200, let's not forget about the 400. It's just amazing. So if you really don't care about the touch feature on the speed light, take advantage of the SE. I think the SE is becoming really my favorite small little speed light to travel with. So sometimes you get in a situation that, you know what, I can't really overpower the sun because the light is so far away. Don't be afraid to bring the light closer. Exactly right now, like there's a light that's close to me. It's about 3 feet away, but if I get closer and closer, I might be out of focus now or out of the frame. I get brighter. So don't be afraid to bring the light closer, or tell the subject, do me a favor. Hey, Will, can you take a step forward? Hey, look, I just became brighter. So as you can see right there. So don't be afraid to do that. Thank you so much for watching, and a special thanks to Westcott for having me back here again, and it's an honor. Bye guys.